I didn't recognize the woman in the mirror. My signature locks were gone, my face puffy from many nights with no sleep. I'm Katrina Bowen, known as that Cat's Glow Up online. 200,000 followers, sponsorships. I was living the life as a beauty influencer. Then Julian Cross came into my life. Handsome, charming, a tech mogul. But then I learned he wasn't what he seemed. Way too late. Somehow he knew my routines, every tag, every check-in, every place I thought was safe. I had to cut ties with the life I built and packed what I could carry. I had to erase my digital footprint. After midnight, I drove out of Atlanta checking my rearview mirror, fearful he would find out about my escape.
I used to live on adrenaline, a badge, the worst days of other people's lives. I told myself I could handle it, until I couldn't. I traded law enforcement for a landscaping business, work that was honest, quiet, predictable. In the low country of South Carolina, I could almost believe I'd found peace, or at least the illusion of it. I kept my hands busy, mowed lawns into neat rows, edged flower beds until the lines looked clean enough to convince me I had control again. My first stop this morning was Sweetgrass Bed and Breakfast, not just for the job, but for Miss Edna. She fed me like I was family, shrimp and grits, strong coffee, a kindness that didn't ask questions. For a few minutes, I could remember what it felt like to be human. Then the doorbell rang, and I saw her.
This sleepy coastal town felt like the kind of place I could disappear. Sweetgrass Bed and Breakfast looked like peace, porch rockers, warm light. I stepped inside exhausted and still terrified. The owner, Miss Edna, calmed my anxiousness for a few moments. But then I noticed him. Tall, quiet, solid, handsome. Ben Wyatt. The way Ben looked at me made my chest tighten. My guardrails came up. Fast. Trust wasn't something I could afford. I didn't realize. Ben might be the only person who can keep me safe.
I didn't know her story, but I recognized the look. And my instincts didn't just wake up. They locked on. I told myself I'd walked away from chasing danger, but the truth is, danger has a way of finding the people who try to escape it. And I couldn't ignore what I saw in her. Because fear like that doesn't come from nothing. She looked at me like she wasn't sure I was safe. And I hated that, because I already wanted to protect her.